Today on the CTV News at 5, a massive chain reaction pileup near Leduc sends 100 people to hospital. Plus, what fire investigators are now saying about the Boston pizza place. And why the Lethbridge Hurricanes are being forced to get a new jersey.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. A terrifying scene on an Alberta highway today. Up to 100 vehicles in a chain reaction crash in a snowstorm between Edmonton and Calgary. And tonight, 100 people are injured. Cars, trucks, buses, and big rigs litter the QE2 highway 45 minutes south of Edmonton, moments after the pileup this morning. Conditions were treacherous at the time with blowing snow and poor visibility. Some drivers went off the highway, others piled into each other, unable to stop in the storm. The storm was so bad that Stars Air ambulance was grounded. Edmonton hospitals were put on alert, a code orange, to expect mass casualties. We'll have more coming up in the 5:30 news. Meanwhile, Lethbridge fire investigators say the blaze that destroyed the Boston Pizza restaurant on Mayor McGrath Drive South yesterday does not appear to be suspicious. The early morning fire destroyed the BP restaurant. A restoration company has been working to clear away rubble so fire investigators can get access to the service area, and that's where it's believed the fire began. Fire prevention officers say video of the fire has also been helpful as they try to pinpoint the origin and cause.
As far as area of origin, we are looking in the northwest corner in the service area. It appears from burn patterns and witness statements, and also pictures that were taken on early in the fire prior to us getting here indicate that the fire was migrating from that area.
Fire investigators say it appears that the flames spread very rapidly once the fire got into the ceiling area. They say their investigation is continuing. Okay, Dory, if I were to pick two words for the weather forecast, I'm thinking snowy and windy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say lousy and lousy.
Well, that's too.
That's how a lot of people have been characterizing the weather that we've had today. Of course, this system started as a closed low. The core of it was rotating around the Edmonton area, and that's why they got hit quite hard with that this morning. It's now extended into a north-south trough, so that's why all that precipitation has headed south. The clearing is starting to take place in some areas like Calgary, but it's not, don't get too comfortable with that because this system is oscillating east and west and will continue to do so over the next 6 or 8 hours. So we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll have the details for you in a couple of minutes.
More weather on the way. Thanks, Dory. The Harper government unveiled its much anticipated budget today. The blueprint confirms there will be no new federal taxes, but billions for job training and infrastructure. Ottawa will also cut tariffs to make things like baby clothes and sporting goods a bit cheaper. CTV's Richard Madden explains.
The budget centerpiece is the creation of a new jobs grant. Each worker could get up to $15,000 to train for a new job in the trades or other professions in short supply.
A bold new initiative to transform the way we provide skills training to ensure we connect Canadians with available jobs.
But there's a hitch. The plan is to be shared equally between the private sector, Ottawa, and the provinces, set to begin next year. An initiative, some say, that's doomed from the start.
The provinces aren't keen on the federal government telling them what to do in anything, but particularly in an area that's in their jurisdiction, and above all, an area that the federal government handed to them.
The economy will get a jolt through renewing stimulus spending on infrastructure, some $47 billion over the next decade to fix crumbling roads, bridges, and sewers. There's help, too, for Ontario's hard-hit manufacturers. More than $1 billion will flow to boost the industry and Ontario's north. Another $1 billion will go to fuel aerospace research and technology.
Let's hope that it's more than an electoral stunt setting up for 2015, that there'll be something real there. We don't have a lot of confidence in this government.
But with the next election just 2 years away, the Harper government unveiled new populist measures to win over soccer moms and hockey dads. Tariffs worth $70 million will be removed from imported baby clothes and athletic equipment. Everything from skates to golf clubs will soon be a bit cheaper. And those who use home care services won't pay federal taxes.
I think Canadians are looking for a broader and better vision, and I don't think they're getting it. This is very much a very much a very minimalist, tiny approach to what we really need to do.
Ottawa is also eyeing tax cheats and closing corporate loopholes to recoup almost $7 billion. It will even set up a new snitch line, promising to pay tipsters 15% of the money it collects from tax evaders.
We're not looking for rogues to turn in other rogues.
Now, in the budget, Flaherty insists he'll eliminate the $26 billion deficit by 2015. That's just in time for the next campaign, when the Conservatives will be in a healthier financial position to offer more pre-election goodies. Richard Madden, CTV News, Ottawa.
Lethbridge MP Jim Hillier says that he believes his constituents will be happy about skills training measures to help with job creation in southern Alberta. Hillier held a number of pre-budget consultations across the riding and says the number one thing he was told was that government needed to cut unnecessary spending and focus on job creation. Hillier says he was surprised to see a balanced budget forecast for 2015 because early indications were that they were on track for 2017. The Lethbridge MP says he's happy to see job creation addressed.
You know, the job shortage in southern Alberta is probably our biggest economic concern, and so the measures for skills training, reforming immigration to make sure we're recruiting the right people that are going to fill those jobs needs, and you know, also for the young people who are coming out of university, we've got new apprenticeship programs and new internship programs, so people looking for work are going to have an easier time finding those jobs.
Meanwhile, students at the University of Lethbridge say they are strongly opposed to impending provincial budget cuts to post-secondary institutions, and they decided to try to make their voices heard electronically. Tables were set up around campus with laptops to encourage students to voice their concerns to the Premier and MLAs through email and all forms of social media. Organizers say it's important, but the government knows students will feel the effects of cuts to universities and colleges.
Questions as to like, why was the STEP program cut, and do you have an alternative? Why is it that Premier Redford promised a 2% increase to student post-secondary institutions for 3 years and in fact hasn't delivered on that promise?
This has been one of the biggest cuts to post-secondary institutes in the province in years. A Canadian war correspondent will be speaking at the University of Lethbridge tonight about the issues facing women around the world. In her book, Ascent of Women, Sally Armstrong recounts the stories of women who have conquered the odds in conflict zones and rural villages. She's an award-winning journalist, the co-founder of Canadian Living magazine, and a regular on CBC Radio.
The book goes out to say there's something happening out there. The earth is shifting. Things are changing for women. I'm not for a moment suggesting the trouble is over, but definitely the status of women is moving, and it's moving in the right direction.
Armstrong's presentation goes 7 o'clock in the Phys Ed building on campus. And nearly 300 young women from high schools across southern Alberta were in career search investigation mode today. The CSI World of Choices Career Workshop for Young Women gave students an opportunity to learn more and ask questions about a number of potential career paths from business professionals. It's the 13th year for the event. Organizers say it's a unique chance for students to connect with employers and potentially find their future career.
Over the years, we also invite different career facilitators to attend, so the girls get exposure to different careers. We want to showcase that there's careers in all fields for women.
I think it's important because it provides perspective and gives, well, youth new opportunities to expand on what they know and just develop.
Throughout the morning, students were able to rotate among the tables and then check out their favorite career options. It was a very sweet awakening for hundreds of university students this morning, as many of them were sent a special package from their loved ones back home.
It says, "Study hard, you can do it, love Mom and Dad."
That was one of the many heartfelt messages that came wrapped up in a sugary pack. 1,000 cupcakes were delivered to sleepy-eyed students in the University of Lethbridge residence this morning. The act of kindness was initiated by the U of L student alumni to enlighten the load of the exam week.
as just a way to say we're thinking of you, and we know that you're under a lot of stress, so eat cupcakes and try to enjoy this time as well as take it seriously.
It's a good day to start the morning, I guess, with a nice sweet treat that is from your parents, that you know that they're supporting you through school and they want you to succeed and do well. It's a good way to start a day.
Aw. Now, this is the second time the alumni have organized a cupcake day for its student residents. Time now for a look at the day markets, and there were a lot of down arrows because of continued financial uncertainty in Cyprus.